Alright, welcome back. This time around, doing a build on the Dual Dream Paladin for Path of Diablo Season 5. Again, I don't think there's any changes coming for anything that's going to affect these builds. It's melee focused elemental builds, so I wanted to show the best gear, best case scenario situation. So yeah, let's take a look. Skills are simple. Synergy is maxed for holy lightning. I'm sorry, holy shock. So we've got blessed aim, salvation, resist lightning maxed, and then I put some points in holy shield down to joust, and I maxed zeal and sacrifice. Same as the dragon did. The merc is the exact same as the dragon did as well. Some survival gear with the might aura on an Act 2 merc with blessed aim and an infinity. It's the highest DPS output for us. And then as for our gear, or sorry, stats the same, around 200 strength, 200 dex, everything else fit. You can see our resistances are pretty good because we're running salve. If you run resist lightning, you again have the same issue with the dragon din, where you're gonna have one or two stats that just aren't as good. So, but you'll be running zeal and resist lightning most of the time. As for the gear, I went with the max damage, like out of holy shock, just for what I'm wearing right now. I don't believe this is the way you should play it, but this is just to showcase how high it can get. So. Number one, we have the really good Annie with +2. We have a Hellfire Torch, and I've gone ahead and simulated having a full inventory of lightning greater charms, or medium charms, which is 54. And then I've also gone ahead and simulated having 4 lightning faucets on my weapon, which I didn't slam. So that's that. Cannot be frozen on the boots, and on this Ormus robe here I've got another. I tried to get 4 sockets but I couldn't, slamming, so this is where another faucet comes from. So that would be the maximum amount of faucets you can get in the build, unless you're running a lightsaber or an Azurath, in which case you can get another 10% lightning damage by having 6 faucets. However, it ends up not being as much damage as the Shaper's Hammer, so just going with that. So yeah, Dream in the helm and Dream in the shield. This is what's so fun about the Dream build compared to Dragon Din, is that you have a lot of options with your gear, because you really only need to wear these 2 items to do it. High Lords ends up being more damage than the Seraphs because of the lightning damage. We're also running Tear Haunches with a defensive aura boost. We're running Volcaicos rings because we want some life steal. You could run Stone of Jordans for a little bit more lightning damage. As you can see, which is another option for max damage. Arachnids for 1 to all skills. There is no gloves that give us lightning damage or anything, so I'm just using laying on hands. And again, a perfect Ormus with 4 perfect lightning faucets will be the highest amount of lightning damage you can get out of this build. And an ethereal perfect Shaper's Hammer. Now this is something you're probably never going to find, but it is the highest damage output. You could, of course, use a death reward instead. You'll be doing a little bit less damage, but you're going to be benefiting from Deadly Strike and Crushing Blow. It's a mana steal, so it's actually quite useful. Lightsaber has an interesting thing. It has resist lightning aura, so it allows you to use salve aura and still get resist lightning. It's not as high damage as the other options, but of course it's a lot cheaper. And Azurath is just better than lightsaber, because it just gives you more damage. So those are your options for weapons. Schaefer's is obviously the best. And yeah, you can see our sheet damage here is 3.4k to almost 30k, which is quite high. There are some weaknesses. Of course, we're not attacking as fast as we could be, especially using the Schaefer's hammer. We have 80 attack rate. We're not at the attack speed breaking cap. If we use a phase blade, we would be. If we use the death, we would not be. So just keep that in mind with this gear setup. Let's go take a look at how it fares. So again, I'm going to test it with a map that doesn't have any lightning immunes. We're going to do the cows. Okay, those ones have lightning absorb, so we don't want that. That's good. That seems better. Oh, and we also want to use call to arms in our swap, not demon. That's fine. Just use the demon. Okay, so we're 3.8 to 29k. See, it's pretty similar speed to Dragon did. People don't really just turn down the sound here for a sec. When Schaefer's hammer procs static field, the static field actually lowers enemies' lightning resistances. It's not by much. Level 10 static field will lower it by 10, but it still counts. So it's a lot easier to break immunes with the lightning build than the fire build. But one thing that does suck is that the range is so big that sometimes you just get unlucky. So that's why I don't believe that playing Holy Shock like Dual Dream and just maxing lightning damage is actually what you want to do. I think what you actually want to do, this guy. So we're not gonna be able to kill him because he's just totally immune to everything. I have no way to break that. So that's another reason why you don't. I don't think you want to just go the full lightning damage build. It's just not good. So let's go back to town. You can see the damage output is pretty good, but let's change some things up. So I want to have, you know, regular damage happening, as well as you know, I want some lifesteal. I want to hit that attack speed cap, so I'm gonna put on an Os Coil. I want crushing blows and deadly strikes, so I'm gonna throw on the Gore Riders. So with this setup, it's a lot different. Obviously, we're not going to slam 4 sockets into materials, so I'm going to just take off this because that's just not realistic. Oh, sorry, those are for the weapon, and then this would be, yeah. So now we have the actual proper amount of lightning damage that we would be getting. So you can see the damage has gone down, at least the top end's gone down by 10k, right? So that's quite a bit of a decrease. If we check out the Azurath, you know, our damage is still around the same. If we put on the Schaefer's, it's kind of around the same. And the lightsaber is, again, kind of around the same. But the big difference is here that we want, with this one we're running 99% crit and 65 crushing blow. So that's a lot. And we also get the blood golem which gives us the aura for getting our life back. And then, you know, there's no reason not to just run south, because you're only losing a little bit now. So this setup is a lot more realistic, I'd say. Even if you don't have materials, you could also make like a Chains of Honor. So I think I have one somewhere here. Yeah. So even if you don't have materials, Chains of Honor is also a really good option. It has 200 to demons, 100 undead. So it's not like you need materials. So, but of course we're looking at like end game gear here. So yeah, let's assume you have materials, and let's go back in here and let's just see how this is. Let's do our enchant fire. Let's get our blood golem out. And let's get our holy shield out. So yeah, 14 to 18k. Big difference though is we're at 99 deadly strike and a bunch of crushes. We also have mana steal now. Yeah, if I steal, damage is going to be higher. So our life steal is going to be, we're at 60% life steal. Our resistances are now capped except for poison. It's just a more well-rounded build, and it's a lot more safe. So I think now we'll probably be able to just attack the butcher. He's just so strong. He's immune to physical too. Oh, I never even read this. You literally can't kill him, and he's just a buff, like a totem. Okay, that's interesting. I did not even know that was the case. In this map, they updated that. Anyways, yeah. With this setup, you know, you're doing less sheet damage, but I think you're ending up doing the same amount of damage when you count the crits. And of course, in the Help Ovine map, our Tyraels isn't doing anything for us. Neither is our Laying on Hands. And I believe this also has damage to undead. But so that's not making any difference here because these guys aren't undead or anything like that. So this is purely just our crits and our lightning damage. We lost our merc to that little boss thing. So we'll respawn him.
What is it?
So I hate to say it because I've always said I didn't like Dream compared to Dragondon, but you know what? It's a lot better than Dragondon now, based on all this combined things and all these changes. Let's go try out a map that does have demons. So let's go to River of Blood. Remember, this one gave us a bit of trouble.
I can't.
With Dragondon, so there's undead and demons in here, so this should be interesting. Chant. Let's get our blood lead out. These Salvon. Alright. Let's see how this goes. So I want to try the Schaefer's here, see if we can break the lightning moves. Rocket. I think it breaks it. Oh, my Merc just killed. Yeah. There's some lightning minions in here. And yeah, it looks like it does break it when it procs. So that's really cool. That's one other reason you'd want to use a Schaefer's over anything else, really. However, we're not getting as much Deadly Strike and Crushing Blow here, so if I put the death back on, it should at least be healing more. So we're gonna have our Blood Golem. So again, it's just way safer. I'm also not using Call to Arms, which would, use battle orders. But yeah, it's not super fast, but it's definitely way along. My gripe with it though is that the range is so RNG, but it's a lot safer, it's a lot more versatile, because you're doing physical damage, and you're able to heal. And you have a lot of options with the weapons, so if we throw on a lightsaber, they're all similar sheet damage too, which is interesting, but obviously some of them are going to be better than others. Getting crushed by this poison rounds. But yeah, Zerath is good too. Really, like, your weapon doesn't really, I mean, it matters, but it's not like you need to get a certain weapon. Like, they're all kind of similar. I do prefer death just because having the crit chance, doubling our damage, and crushing blows. In case we get unlucky with our lightning, just helps a lot. You can see lightning immunes. They're dying really quick anyways, because we got this guy. That's the main bonus. Compared to others. The damage is lower though than